Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday morning, May 5th. We are looking at window traders market profile of the ES and SPY. So the market pushing higher this morning, about 20 minutes prior to non-farm payroll. Apple earnings came out last night. Apple's up 2.5%. So obviously pulling up the NASDAQ and the markets in general, at least early. Again, it's only one stock. I wouldn't put too much fate, no matter how big they are in the indices. Okay, the non-farm payroll is going to have more of a reflection on what this market wants to do, I believe, than Apple. Remember, yesterday, NQ both filled their gap and got the base of their price probe. So their next destination is to take back the single prints from Wednesday. So far in the overnight, they've tried to get into them. We'll see what happens come regular trading hours. Righty. Also, right now trading above yesterday's high. Remember, they still had a gap to fill. Look at this in the overnight so far. Again, that doesn't mean anything. It has to happen in regular trading hours. But at least for now, after basing at the top of value high yesterday, they're trying in the overnight to push this higher. We'll see if we're able to fill that gap come regular trading hours. ES and SPY, basically the same thing. ES did a lot of consolidating above value high. And now we've been trading above yesterday's high, looking to fill the gap. There's a long progression here, what has to happen. We have the gap fill. We have the price probe. We have the trend day to take back. So it's still a bit of a migration for the bulls. We'll see if non-farm payrolls is going to further fuel this overnight push up or totally derail it and we come back in. Remains to be seen. So here's the deal. The one thing the bulls certainly want to avoid is an outside week down. So for that to happen, we'd have to close below last week's low of 68.75. Right now, we're in pretty good shape above it, but we know how that could go away in a heartbeat if this non-farm payroll upsets the market. So that's step number one. If they do that, they're just firmly in a 5-week balance. The monthly is firmly in balance, and the daily, if we're able to take out yesterday's high, comes back into balance. So nothing catastrophic, at least to start with for the bulls. However, if this does reverse and we do take out yesterday's low and end up closing below last week's low, things can get a little more dire as we go forward into next week. As far as the game plan, again, a lot's going to change. But if we're trading so let's go over the different levels real quick. If we're trading at this level, again, do I want to take a long right away? Now, downside gaps have held. The last two have, although we're trying to take it back today. But gaps in general haven't held. Plus, you're at a very visual area, which is the gap fill. So it depends on how much push we get. I don't know if I'd want to take a long right against this, to be quite honest with you. I'd see if they fill the gap and then hold higher value. On the flip side, depending on where the overnight high is, I might want to take a short the first time against the gap fill and front run the overnight high. These are just early plays. This is going to most likely change dramatically at 8:30. I have other obligations. That's why these videos are done earlier like this. So again, if you're in the trading room, once we know where we are going to be trading, you're going to be getting from 9:15 to 9:30 exactly what we're looking to do as the market has better MGI at that point. And then again, quickly on the chart, we'll recap all three of these indices charts tonight. I'll just show you the weekly for now. That's the important one. They don't want to close below last week's low. If you get that, well, then you have an outside week down. Now, on the flip side, if this market was to really rally, but it would really need to rally and close above last week's high, you'd have an outside week up. That's another $7 from here. Not saying it can't happen. Anything could happen in this market. But right now, I wouldn't look for that just yet. But again, everything on the table for when this week closes. And on the daily, first step, baby step for the bulls, take back yesterday's high, and then we start a balance. Whether it would be a 2-day balance or a 4-day balance, it depends how much we would get up into May 3rd's range. But right now, we're between the 20, below the 20, and above the 50-day moving average. Good luck trading today. Thanks for the likes and subscribing, and we'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.